66393.
All right. And what's your pleasure, counsel?
Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to let the court know that defense counsel and I have been communicating about a protection order, and I think we're in agreement now. So I will send that over today to the court, and then I'll send defense counsel discovery.
And I appreciate that.
Are you demanding an exam, sir?
Yes, we are.
Court will continue to plead not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination. How is June 4th? I can do 10, 11:30, or 1:30.
That's a little early, Your Honor. I'd like to move that out. I haven't gotten the discovery. There's a lot of discovery to go through. I would like to move that out a little bit so we'd have time to get through everything.
How do you know it's a lot of discovery? You haven't received it yet.
Well, there's 10 felony charges, Your Honor, and there was probably at least 10 to 15 witnesses, I believe, we're going to have. I know.
And I'll just add, there's a decent amount of discovery, and the police were called out there multiple times before this incident takes place. So there's there's a lot of body worn camera.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's not too much, but it's a decent amount.
How many witnesses are you calling?
I would only anticipate maybe 2 or 3, depending on the stipulations I can get with defense counsel.
Yeah, I'm not going to go beyond June 11th. With 10 or 1:30.
June 11th, I have a full day, Your Honor. The 10th, I only have one motion that morning at 10:30.
I do homicides on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sir.
I'm full on. I'm full, Your Honor, on every one of those. Let me see.
You have June 6th.
That's early. I guess we'll have to do it June 6th, then, Your Honor.
June 6th at 10 or 11:30.
10 is fine, Your Honor.
Okay, June 6th at 10 o'clock. Ronald, we continue.
Your Honor, I'd like to. That's okay.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, this isn't a situation where my client looked for trouble. I was handling the divorce with my client and his soon-to-be ex, Nicole Carter. She had come to the house. He was staying there, and he was going to have barbecue with his children, and he's moving out as soon as we sign this divorce. Nicole, his soon-to-be ex, came to the house 4 times, and every time she came, Your Honor, there was more people. My client had called the police. They were on the scene three times, and then the 4th time after the shooting, my client had death threats. He tried to file a PPO on May 6th against her sister-in-law, who was calling in making death threats. The PPO was not granted, Your Honor. My client was at home. They came to him on 4 occasions. There were death threats. He saw a gun in a young man's waist belt who was threatening to kill him. And then finally, the last time they came, my client called the police. They didn't have cars available, although they had been there 2 or 3 times before. They came, and there was about 30 people, according to my client. There was a mob of people making threats, and they were coming at him pretty hard. And that's how this thing went down, and he was afraid, Your Honor. He didn't go out and find this trouble. He has 0 history, works for the Postal Service. He's a truck driver. We would ask that you let him out on a tether so that he can help with his defense and we can finish this divorce up. I don't think you're going to have any problems with him whatsoever, Your Honor.
Ms. Bonomo?
Your Honor, people would object. This case is going to be a he said, she said. We have his family, her family, everyone's saying there was a gun. No one saw a gun besides the defendant. But what we do have is video from the defendant's home showing that there's a smaller group of people gathered outside, and the defendant actually leaves his home with a gun in his hand and approaches that crowd. The defendant left the safety of his home to go out there to confront this small little crowd that was on the side of his house. And then we know from the scene that he shot at least 14 times. There's 14 shell casings, and 5 people were hit. 1 is deceased. One was hit in the left buttocks, meaning that he was shot from behind. These people were running, and there was some still shooting going on. So it's a self-defense case, Your Honor. And I would ask if bond is going to be addressed, that we get a DSU and we can address it at the exam after it's held.
I'm almost afraid to ask, but what is the reason that these people came to his house?
It's a husband and wife going through a divorce. They both live there. The wife was staying with her sister. The family did keep coming over to the home. The police were there earlier in the day. And they did call, the defendant did call the 911. And then on this last time when they came, that's when the defendant exited his home and approached them. And he had a gun in his hand. And he admits to shooting and having a gun. And his argument is that he observed someone grabbing at his waistband with possibly a silver weapon. But it's he said, she said. And at the end of the day, he left his home. He left the safety of his home to walk out of his home with a gun in his hand.
Your Honor, if I may, they were having a barbecue. He's preparing to leave the home. He got his twin daughters to have the last hurrah, if you will, with his daughters. He only had 6 family members. They were outside having a barbecue through the day, and these people just kept showing up. It's my understanding he was fighting at the fence. I haven't seen the video. There was a gate at the back fence. They were pushing to come in, making threats, calling him a squatter. He said he had gotten many death threats. He had already been called before this incident with death threats from the sister-in-law. He tried to file a PPO. The time he tried to get the police involved the last time, they didn't have cars available, Your Honor. The system failed him as well here. He tried to do the right thing, but they kept coming and coming and coming, and he was afraid. She has a key. She was coming in with these people regardless, Your Honor, and they were going to throw him out of the house, physically harm him. That's what they were saying. He was a squatter. They're going to kill him. He said one of the young men brandished a weapon, and he was afraid. He was in his
current bond?
I'm sorry?
What's his current bond?
No bond. No bond, Your Honor. Nothing.
Amen.
Yeah.
And Your Honor, can I just respond to that briefly?
Go ahead.
It would be a different conversation if these individuals were coming into the home with weapons and threatening him, but that's not what happened here. It's all he said, she said. That's what the defendant's saying happened. The other family saying that he invited all these people over to push her out of her own home. So he's describing it like he's just having a last hurrah at his home, but she's describing it as he's trying to intimidate her out of her own home where she can't even go there. So her family goes over there for moral support, and that's when he exits with a gun in his hand. So there's a lot going on, but it's not as innocent as it's being made out to seem.
Your Honor, they both have rights to the home until we sign the divorce. I'm handling that. And then he's got 30 days to leave. The police on the scene almost arrested. They threatened to arrest twice, Nicole Carter and her nephew, twice, because they were out of control. This wasn't I'm just going to come in and push you out. No, that's not what was going on here. What was going on here, according to my client and his family that I interviewed, was they were coming pretty hard on him, and they were making threats, and they showed up in 5 cars, Your Honor. The last time, there wasn't just a couple people. There was a mob of people making serious threats to him. And he was at his home. They had no rights to do that. She didn't even have to call the police. She said she wanted to get clothes. He's already got an apartment. He's moving out, Your Honor. He has not touched her ever. No domestic violence whatsoever. No history of that. They came to him on 4 occasions that night, Your Honor. This isn't
anyone in that home now?
Pardon me?
Is anyone in that home now?
I'm not sure if she went back. I think she might have gone back. She moved out to go be with her sister until we signed the divorce. He's got an apartment.
So if he gets out, where is he going?
Probably to his sister's house or to his apartment that he's got set up. He's just going to get some furniture. He'll probably go to his sister's.
How old is he?
Oh, his birthday is in 77, Your Honor. So he's not a young guy.
47.
Yeah, 47. He has no history, Your Honor, at all.
No criminal history whatsoever?
No.
Not from my understanding, Your Honor.
No. This was a provocation at best, Your Honor. I mean, they came pretty hard on him and scared him.
And I will add, though, that someone in his party tried calling the police and someone knocked the phone out of her hand. And that's when the shots started going off. So
Yeah, it was his sister-in-law tried to call the police, and they came up to her and slapped the phone out of her hand. So there was a lot going on the other side as well.
All right, I'll set bond at $200,000 cash surety. GPS tether, no contact with the complaining witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
And again, that's going to be June 6th at 10 o'clock.
Yes,
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you.
thank you, Judge.
Ms. Khan, good morning.
Thank you, Sister Counsel.
Thank you,
Good morning.
What can I do for you, Ms. Khan?
I am here on Shamika Green. You're setting for an exam.
All right.
Is she signed on this? Is she?
Yes, she is.
Calling case number 2405-733701, people of the state of Michigan versus Shamika Green. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2, weapons felony firearm, count 3, domestic violence.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor, and court staff, Sarah Khan, on behalf of Miss Green, P86948. Shamika Green is on Zoom. Miss Green, would you please unmute?
Tell us your name, Ms. Green.
Shamika Green.
What's your pleasure, Ms. Khan?
We are just looking for an exam.
The court will continue the plea of not guilty and set this matter for preliminary examination. How is June 3rd at 11 o'clock?
That works for me, Your Honor.
Is that too soon, Ms. Drain?
That's fine. That's good.
Yeah, that's good. We can make that work.
Okay. June 3rd at 11 o'clock, bond will be continued.
Thank you.
Thank you. Miss Green, you can log off. I'll give you a call.
Thank you.
What's these two motions here?
To destroy biometric.
This is the Thomas Gates, this is here.
Calling case number 18-0579-1601. This people of the state of Michigan versus Thomas Gates Jr. This is a motion to destroy biometric data.
Tell me your name, Mr. Gates.
My name is Thomas Gates Jr.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 34 years old, Your Honor.
You're pretty young. So this is your motion to destroy biometric data and arrest record.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your case was dismissed back on August 31st of 2018. What have you been doing since then?
I'm currently in nursing school. I graduate in July. So I'm just trying to get this off my record so that I won't have an issue getting employment after I graduate nursing school.
Well, you understand this isn't removing it off your record. This is just destroying the biometric data and arrest record. You don't have a record so far as this is concerned because you weren't convicted.
Yes, Your Honor, but when I apply to programs, it still shows up and it's disqualified.
So probably as an arrest with no disposition. I get it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Drain, do you have any objection to the court granting the defendant's or the petitioner's motion?
No objection.
All right, the court is going to grant your motion, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you. You too.
That bond you wore, that wasn't house arrest, was it? You didn't say house arrest. One more question, can you return to that address or no?
Hey, good morning. Morning. Are we ready Okay. Calling case 2457135, people of the state of Michigan versus Sarita Louise King. And is charged in count 1 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2 domestic violence. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor. Evan Callahan, P30564 on behalf of the defendant.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarita Louise King, 37866 Brady Library.
What is that now?
My social security.
Don't give us that. We're broadcasting on YouTube.
Oh.
She said everybody giving appearances with their number. Let me draw out my number. Oh my God. Okay, anyway. There's a date time set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I am not able to proceed at this time. The complaining witness is Mr. Walter King. He was notified of today's date and time for the hearing. He is not present.
Move to dismiss.
So ordered. The court will dismiss this matter without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Just heard enough.
Good to see you, Judge. Nice to see you, Judge.
Okay, you have a great day, sir. Good to see you as well. And it's gonna be the act and everything.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, how you doing?
Good.
Here on Willis.
That's correct.
Calling case 2457214, people in the state of Michigan versus Phyllis Dion Willis. Defendant is charged in count 1, assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2, domestic violence. First, so correct.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drink for the people, P number 60219.
Morning, Judge. Christopher Quinn, P 6943, appearing on behalf of the school.
Tell me your name for the record. There's the date and time set for the mere examination. Ready to proceed.
Your Honor, I'm not able to proceed at this time. The complaining witness was notified of today's date of psychology exam, and he is not.
We, the principals were dismissed.
So order, court will dismiss this matter without prejudice. I just need dismissal order.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day.
It's a felony case. So what's the problem? What's the father's name? All right, call me back.
dismissal. Bringing on Zachary Evans.
Ready, morning, Judge.
TV star just walked in the room. Don't be looking around, you know I'm talking about you. I saw you on Family Feud. Oh, did you? I did. Calling case 2457241, people of the state of Michigan versus Zachary Michael Evans. Defendant is charged with count 1 arson, preparation to burn and dwelling. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor, Shelley Green, people, P number 60248.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carol Chapman Marsh, P 1887 on behalf of Mr. Fabulous President Mother.
Good morning, Your Honor, Zachary Evans.
Designated time set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
How many witnesses do you have?
3.
Say 3?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So I was just told that James Campbell was going to be a dismissal. Is that right?
I didn't know that, but this is what I've heard. I don't have information
It's
about that.
not quite 9:45 yet, so. Any witnesses for the people?
3, Your Honor.
Okay, call your first witness.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would call either Sophia Javon.
You're calling who? Ida, Sophia.
Javon. We'll have her spell it and pronounce it.
And Your Honor, I would request a mutual sequestration order.
Ladies and gentlemen in the courtroom, if you are a witness or potential witness, I'm ordering you to log off. I'm ordering you to step into the hallway and take personal note. People out there in YouTube land, if you are a witness or potential witness, I'm ordering you to log off. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box next to you. Keep your voice up nice and loud and speak to that microphone that will be to your left, okay?
I do.
Just pull it over.
Oh, okay.
Maybe beginning, you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name once again for the record.
Ida Sophia Dashma.
Okay. I'm going to be asking you some questions today. If you don't understand something or if you want me to repeat it, please let me know, all right? I'll always just respond with a yes or no.
Okay, yes.
Thank you so much. I want to bring your attention back to the date of December 19th of last year, 2023. Do you remember that date?
Yes, I do.
Where were you on that date?
I was in my home giving my partner a haircut.
Okay. And where's your home located?
13550 Turner Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48238.
Okay, very good. And who was your partner?
My partner's Valerie Martinko.
And and you said you were giving her a haircut, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
in the kitchen, but you can see out the front window from the kitchen.
Okay, could you get a clear view? outside?
Yes, it's directly right in front.
Okay. And whether you were giving this haircut about what time, or if you remember?
Afternoon, I would say Valerie just got out of work, so maybe around 4:35. I don't know the exact time.
Was it still light out?
Yes,
Okay. And as you were giving her a haircut, and also this is your house?
this is my home, yes.
Okay.
Well, we live there together.
Okay. So as you were giving him a haircut, what happened then?
I was cutting her hair and then she goes, "The porch is on fire." So I look up and sure enough, the porch was a ball of flame. And so I ran outside because I just didn't, there's no reason anything should be on fire out there. She came and followed behind me with the extinguisher. I took the extinguisher, pulled the pin, swept the things that I put out a small fire before. So swept the thing, and then when I looked, and just to process what was happening, it all happened very, very quickly. I looked and I saw.
Your Honor, I'm gonna object to the narrative at this point. I don't think there's another question.
I'll ask you a question. All right, so you said that you went outside and you extinguished the
I
fire.
extinguished the fire.
How long did it take to do that?
Just a few seconds, just, you aim at the bottom and the chemicals put it out pretty much instantly, so.
Okay, and so let me ask you about that. What, after you had done that, what did you observe about the porch area?
The porch area was scorched all the way up, like my patio furniture, my chairs, all the fabric was scorched on them, the rug had I had a porch rug that was all scorched too, the floor was scorched, and there was some black marks going up the front of the house. And then there was 2 boards there, laying one kind of over top of the other, that were my guess was the ignition source.
Okay, so the things that you just described, were those the only things that were damaged, were tarred by the fire?
Yes, luckily my house is covered in asphalt siding, so it doesn't catch.
Okay, all right. So after you extinguished the fire, what did you observe, if anything?
I noticed a vehicle turning around in the street, and it was a blue older truck with very distinctive red stripes going down the top and the side. And I noticed that, and then I was still kind of looking around, and I looked to my left and I noticed my neighbors sort of like, what was going on, and then I saw Mr. Evans pull up and like stop right in front of my house, look at me before speeding off. Yeah,
You said you saw a truck turn around.
in the street, it turned around in the street.
Okay, so had it passed your house and then turned around, or?
My guess is came down the
I'm gonna
street.
object to her guessing, Your Honor, at this point.
Just tell us what you saw.
I saw the truck turning around down the road slightly, like between my house and the neighbor's house, and coming back this way.
Okay, so did you see the car actually driving like in a direction away from your house and then turn around and drive in front?
At that point, I was putting out the fire, I did not see them.
Okay, all right. But did you see that truck go in front of your house?
I did not see that because I was a little further back in the house, so I could see what was happening on the porch, but.
Okay. Okay, so when did you see the truck turn around?
When I had finished putting out the flames, I had seen it just completing its turn in the street, to come back this way.
Okay, and when the truck came back, was that in your direction?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you observe the truck do after that?
Stopped, and someone looked out the window, looked directly at me, and then sped off, and then I like ran down the steps to go look and see, what was going on or whatever. Again, this all happened in the space of like maybe 15, 20 seconds. And my neighbors were standing up, got out of their car, and they're like, what just happened? I'm like, my porch got set on fire.
Okay.
And they're like, yeah, we saw that person in that car walk up to
Your
your
Honor,
house.
I'm gonna object to this testimony this time. It's hearsay what the neighbor said.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions then. So you said when the truck turned around.
Yeah.
And then went past your house and you were looking at the truck. Was the driver's side of the truck closer to you or was it on the
Driver's
opposite?
side was closer.
Okay, so you could see who was driving the truck?
Yes.
Okay, and when you saw that person, did you recognize that person?
I thought I had, but it took me a minute to put it together because I didn't recognize the truck.
Okay. Did you eventually realize who that was?
Yes, because I was like, I'm pretty sure that was Zachary Evans, and I then went on to his social media to see if he had a new truck, because I know he works on cars, so.
Okay, let me stop you for just a second. So you said Zachary Evans?
Yes.
Okay, and how do you know Zachary Evans?
We were in a relationship several years ago.
Okay, and when did that relationship end?
2020, probably in May 2020.
Okay, and between 2020 and the date of this incident, have you seen or had you communications with Mr. Evans?
Not for years, and then about 3 weeks before the incident, I saw him out at a place called the Olympus Theater where my current partner was doing a DJ set. One of their jobs is as a DJ entertainer.
Okay, and in what capacity did you see Mr. Evans?
Well, when I walked in, I saw him and I was like, oh God, here we go. And so I walked away to the other side of the venue because the venue has kind of multiple rooms. So I walked away, walked to the other side.
And why did you do that?
Because I don't feel safe around them. I haven't since I had left them years ago. I had made a plan to leave them years ago to not cohabitate anymore after we had broken up and to, the main reason I broke up with them was because I felt unsafe from a lot of time in the house that we would cohabitate.
Okay, so you go off to a different room.
I go off to a different room and he followed me to that room and like I was standing up against some shelving and walked right up to me and got in my face and then wasn't saying anything. It was like really, really close to my face.
How did you feel at that time?
Threatened. And so I said, like, what do you want? What do you have to say for yourself? Like, anything, and didn't say anything. So, I'm in nursing school and
I'm gonna object, Your Honor, again to the narrative going on. I don't know what relevance representing nursing.
the relevance to
All right, so he approaches
Yes.
you, you feel threatened, what happens next?
I had kind of two responses to that, and that's either to like get the heck out of there, but because my partner was performing, I didn't want to leave her there alone with this person. I don't feel that she's safe around them either. And or to, buck out, but I couldn't do that either because as I was saying, I'm in nursing school and I have to maintain a certain like code of behavior and ethics that I signed into in nursing school. You have to sign a contract with, ethical and moral behavior.
Okay, all right, so at what point did he say anything to you at that point?
No, just kept like glaring me in the face, like this close to my face, and finally I was like, okay, get away from me. Like, get away from me.
And did he leave?
He did walk away at that point, but after that I was on high alert, and so I ended up going back to the green room, where the artists hang out before their sets, and just kind of hung out in there, so that way as to avoid further interaction or escalation.
Okay, and you said that you hadn't seen him for years before this, is that correct?
Not since I left.
Okay, and this happened about 3 weeks before the fire incident?
Yes.
Okay, and was there any other interaction? Well, first of all, let me ask a question. Zachary Evans, the person that you've just been answering questions about, testifying about, do you see him in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
For identification purposes for any court, could you indicate where he is and what he's wearing today?
Leather jacket, black shirt, sitting next to the lady in orange blazer.
Thank you. Your Honor, please let this record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, Zachary Evans.
So no.
Thank you. Since the incident at that venue and the date of the fire, which was December 19th, was there any other interaction between yourself and Mr. Evans?
No, not since, other than I had gotten a PPO after the incident and had asked the sheriff's office to go and deliver that, the notice of that PPO or whatever you call it, I'm not sure the exact jargon. But I was informed that it wasn't able to be completed.
Okay. So there's no other interaction between the two of you, not even in person, but any other kind of communication?
Not since the fire incident, no.
No, I actually mean before the fire incident. but
At
after
the
venue?
nightclub incident.
Yes.
Oh, there was some texting later that night. I hadn't spoken in years and I thought I had his number blocked, but my phone, I had gotten a new phone, so I guess the number became unblocked, but I had always kept the number saved just in case there was, like any future incidents or anything and I needed that number.
And whose number are you referring to?
Zachary Evans.
Okay, and did that number appear on your phone?
Yes,
Okay, and was it a call or a text?
it was a text.
And was there an exchange between the two of you, text messages?
It was just sort of like, like, why did you come up to me? What is this? What do you want?
Okay,
That kind of thing, and then very quickly, I blocked it and assumed I was blocked as well.
And why did you block it?
I did not want to be having that interaction.
Okay.
I did not want to, after I left in 2020, I didn't want to ever see that person again.
Okay.
So I left.
All right, okay, very good. Okay, so back to the incident with the pipe. You described the vehicle that you say is very distinctive. What color was it?
It is like a midnight blue or perhaps a navy blue with red stripes. Just a normal, like that color red, but not as vibrant because it's obviously older.
Okay. Had you ever seen a vehicle like this before?
I had not seen, I mean, I have seen a lot of vehicles obviously in my life. I mean, I identified it that day. I could tell it was an older truck, possibly GMC make. You know, my parents work for GM, so I'm pretty good at picking out cars and stuff. And I noticed the dual smokestacks on the back of it, and it's a very distinctive vehicle because I thought I was like, because initially I thought that the attack had happened because I had a Palestinian flag hanging on my porch.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, somebody must be really upset that I have that. But then I was like, who would be careless enough to do that kind of fire attack in that distinctive of a vehicle? So it's very easy to pick out.
Okay. And did you ever, in your time knowing Mr. Evans, did he have that vehicle?
No,
Okay, so you've never seen that vehicle before?
I had not seen that vehicle before now.
Okay. Let me just back up a little bit to the text messages again. I had asked you if it was the same number that Mr. Evans had when you knew him before, that's texting you that
Yes.
night. Was your number the same as
Yes,
well?
I've had the same number for over a decade.
Okay, thank you. All right, so back to the vehicle. So after you saw the vehicle, and after you saw Mr. Evans, what did he say anything to you? Did he look at you?
Looked at me out the window, you're talking in the vehicle after the
Yes.
fire incident, just like stared out the window at me, didn't say anything, you know, and then sped off, and that was all in the span of a few seconds.
So what were you thinking at that?
I was thinking,
Your Honor, I would object to the relevance of what she was thinking at that point. I don't see how that's relevant.
Well, it lays the foundation for what she does after that.
I don't see how that's relevant, Your Honor, to the elements of the crime.
Okay,
I'll
then-
take it for the limited purpose of why she took whatever action she took that.
Okay. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, I recognized the person and I thought it could have possibly been Mr. Evans, and then, but I did recognize the truck. So I decided to go onto social media to see if that truck was present on his social media, and it was. There was a picture of him from the Dairy Queen in front of that truck.
Okay, so what social media did you go on?
Instagram.
Okay. And what did you see on Instagram?
I had seen that truck, and so I decided to, because I have known where Mr. Evans' home is located, because it's not far from my home, so in order to keep myself safe and everything, I have been aware of their proximity to me. And I decided to go, once I had seen that truck on the social media, and I was like, that's the truck that I saw, so I decided to drive by and saw that truck sitting in his driveway, so that's when I decided to alert Detective Davis the next day.
Okay, so you see this truck on his social media, was he in a picture as well? Or the photo, or was it just on his social?
It was on social media.
Okay, so you decided to drive by his house,
Yes,
was it that day or a different day?
that same night,
Okay,
just a few hours after the incident.
and where exactly did you see the vehicle?
The vehicle was parked in his driveway.
Okay, and is that's the driveway of his house?
Yes.
That he has had for how long?
I'm not sure when the closing was, but it was sometime after mine in 2020.
Okay, all right, and you
I
said.
have not previously been to that house, but just to double check the address, I looked it up on the treasurer website.
Okay. And. Okay, and you said did you call 911 or did you make a police report?
Well, right after the incident, I had called the police and the arson unit had come out. That was all before I went over to check and make sure that that was the truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gave them further information based on your information that you had?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. I have no further questions at this time.
Cross exam.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you spell your last name for me one more time?
It is DAJ, P is in Paul, HEN.
DAGP
DAJPHEN dash N.
HE, thank you. So on this particular evening, you stated you and your partner were in the house, is that correct?
Yes,
And it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, is that correct?
yes,
And your attention was drawn to the fire by your partner, is that correct?
yes,
Okay. And so when she drew your attention, the fire was already going, is that
yes,
correct?
yes,
And you stated you went out of the house and put the fire out, is that correct?
yes.
How long was it between the time that you observed the fire that you went to put it out?
As soon as I saw the porch was in flames, I dropped the scissors and ran outside.
How long was that?
A few seconds,
Okay, so it
maybe
took
2 or
you
3.
2 to 3 seconds to go outside onto the porch, is that correct? And you had the fire extinguisher with you at that time?
No, I had run outside just instinctually and saw the porch was on fire, and then my partner followed me out with the fire extinguisher. She had grabbed it off our kitchen counter and handed it to me. I
Okay.
extinguished the flame.
So how long was it that you were on the porch before you got fire extinguisher in your hand?
Maybe 1 or 2 seconds,
Okay. And how long did it take you to get the fire out?
maybe 3 to 5.
So all of this happened within about 10 seconds, is that a fair statement?
Everything from the moment I saw it to when I went outside, maybe 10 to 30 seconds. I can't say the exact timeline simply because it
Okay.
all happened very quickly.
All right, ma'am, if you could just answer the question I asked you, we can get through this a little faster, okay? So you described to me 2 to 3 seconds to get out onto the porch.
Yes,
Additional 2 to 3 seconds for your partner to bring the fire extinguisher, correct?
yes,
And then another 5 seconds for you to put the fire out, correct?
around that, yes.
Okay, and now we're saying that it was 10 to 30 seconds to actually get the fire out. Is that a fair statement?
I think I misjudged the addition there.
Okay.
Math isn't exactly my strong suit.
Okay, that's fine. So once the fire is out, you indicated you observed a truck drive by, is that correct?
Yes,
And this was an unusual truck, correct?
unusual for my neighborhood, absolutely.
And the truck was driving by your house at that point, is that correct?
Yes,
And it was going east or west, or is your street north or south?
I am not sure of the direction of my street. My street is between Schoolcraft and Davison.
Okay,
The truck was going this way towards Davison. My
Okay.
house is on the side of the street.
okay.
The truck was going this way in front of my house, so I was standing right.
So the driver's side of your truck is closest to your house at that point, is that
Yes.
correct?
And the window was there.
And the window was down, and you say the truck went by your house and made a turn and went back by your house a second time, is that correct?
No,
Okay,
when I had finished putting out the fire, I had seen a truck turning around in my street, and then it drove back by me,
okay,
stopped, looked out the window at me.
okay. So when you first observed the truck, it was not in front of your house, is that correct?
It was, it was still in front
When you
of,
first observed the truck, it was not in front of your house, is that
not
correct?
directly,
Okay, and then you observed it turn around and come back towards your house, is that
Yes.
correct? And the driver's window was down, is that correct? And you observed a person that you have identified as Mr. Evans as the driver of the truck, is that correct?
correct,
And you indicate you weren't sure it was him at that time, correct?
at that moment, no,
Okay.
because I didn't recognize the truck.
Okay, so you have been in a relationship with Mr. Evans prior to this time, is that correct?
Yes,
And approximately how long did that relationship last?
about a year and a half.
Okay. So you were in a relationship for a year to a year and a half, is that correct?
That's correct.
And then you had seen him in person up in your face about 3 weeks before this incident, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. And you indicated that, prior to the incident 3 weeks before, you had not seen Mr. Evans at all, is that correct?
Not since May of 2020.
Have you ever seen him near or around your house?
No, I have not.
Have you told him where you lived?
No,
Okay.
but it's not hard to find that information.
You had not told him where you live, is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, but you found out a lot of information about him, what kind of truck he drove, where he lived, and all that kind of information after this fire, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we called the police and they came out to the house, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a yes or no?
You have to answer yes or no.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
For the court reporter, you have to say yes or no.
Okay,
Okay, I said, before you called the police, correct?
yeah,
And you called them on a 911 call, correct?
yes,
And as a result of that 911 call, the police came to your home, is that correct?
yes,
As well as the arson squad, correct?
yes,
And you gave them a statement, correct?
I did.
And did you tell them that you observed who you thought was Mr. Evans in a vehicle near your home?
I had told them I had an idea, but I wasn't entirely sure.
All right, so you told them you weren't sure. Did you tell them the name of the person you thought it was?
I believe so.
Okay, and then later that night, you went on Instagram and saw what you thought was a truck, is that correct?
Yes,
And you went to the home that you
Yes.
thought Mr. Evans lived in, correct?
that I know you would.
Okay, and after that, you went back and called the police and told them the information, is that correct?
Yes, I communicated that information.
Okay, but you didn't tell them where you thought he lived before you went to the house, is that correct?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and you said you talked to some neighbors, is that correct?
Yes, and I believe statements were taken from me.
Okay, you talked to the neighbors, is
I
that
did.
correct? And you also talked this over with your partner, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, I have no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, so ma'am, you said that when you took a look at this person in the truck, you didn't recognize them at first, primarily because the truck threw you. You didn't associate that truck with the defendant at that time. Is that right?
Yes, when I knew them, they had a different vehicle.
Okay, then after the fact, you went on Instagram,
Yes,
and when you went on Instagram, were you looking for any particular person?
I had looked for,
So what made you look for the defendant on Instagram?
because of that incident 3 weeks prior, and I had felt that possibly there was more retaliation coming. And
What was the incident 3 weeks prior?
the incident 3 weeks prior was in the nightclub where they had gotten in my face.
Oh,
So I had thought possibly something more was coming, and so I mean, when I had left Mr. Evans years ago, it was because I felt unsafe in his presence.
okay, so you went on to Instagram looking for the defendant.
Looking
Because you
for the
thought-
vehicle.
Looking for the vehicle, because you thought that that had some association with what had just happened. Is that right?
Yes,
And then that's when you saw the defendant with the truck similar to,
I saw the defendant with the truck that I had seen and a picture at a Dairy Queen, and the Dairy Queen is right down at the end of the block from their house.
any questions based on my questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Thank you.
Next witness, please. Oh, let me go ahead. To Campbell, real quick. Calling case 2457207, people of the state of Michigan versus James Derek Lamont Campbell. Defendant is charged with count one assault with intent to grave bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. Count two domestic violence. Defendant has an official in the third instance. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Green for the people, P number 60249.
And good morning, Maria Manarino, P 39531 on behalf of Mr. Campbell, who is present.
Mr. Campbell, tell me your name for the record.
James Campbell.
Today's the date and time set for preliminary examination. I'm ready to proceed.
Your Honor, I'm not able to proceed at this time. Thank you, Mrs. Not present.
Move to dismiss.
So ordered. The court will dismiss this matter without prejudice.
Your Honor, I have a tether on my ankle.
Dismissal order to take care of that, sir.
Okay. Wait, my sweat.
Okay, we're back on the record on People versus Campbell. Sorry. People versus Evans.
Thank you. The people would call Valerie Martinko.
Please give your name and spelling to the young lady seated there. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box right next to me. Keep your voice up. Just make it open. Voice up nice and loud and speaking to that microphone that will be to your left. I think I also want you to lose the gun, okay? Ready, when you're ready.
Thank you. All right, good morning. Please state your name for the record.
Valerie Martinko.
Okay, Ms. Martinko, I want to ask you some questions today. If you don't understand something, if you want me to repeat it, please let me know, all right? Okay. Okay, thank you. I want to bring your attention back to the date of December 19th of last year, 2023. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Where were you on that date?
I was at home. I had just gotten home from work.
Okay, and where's the location of your home?
It's 13550 Turner Street in Detroit.
Okay, and that's the city of Detroit and County of Wayne?
Yes.
All right. And this is the home that you live at?
Yes.
Okay, do you live there with anyone else?
I live there with Etta Sophia Dashman.
Okay, and what happened on that day?
So Sophia was cutting my hair. We were sitting in the kitchen, and suddenly I saw a wall of fire on the porch. It was all orange. I said, the porch is on fire. We got up, grabbed the fire extinguisher, and we put it out. And then I saw the truck come down, I would say that's south on Turner Street. It slowed down. I saw the driver of it stare at us and then speed off.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you some specific questions now. So you were getting your hair cut, and then you see the fire.
Yes.
Okay, so how was your view of the fire inside the house?
It was through the front windows, and it was just all orange. And at first, I didn't know what it was, and I quickly realized it was fire. And
Okay, and you said, and then yourself, and you then put the fire out, is that correct?
yes, I grabbed the fire extinguisher, I gave it to her, and then she pulled the pin and swept.
Okay. So from the time that you first saw the fire and said there's a fire, and the time that she actually put it out, how much time was it?
10 seconds. We immediately got up and ran out.
Okay, so the room that you were in was at the front of the house, is that correct?
We were in the kitchen, which is in the middle, but it's separated from the front by the living room, and we could see out the front windows perfectly.
Okay, all right, very good. Did you see anybody around the area?
I-
When you saw the fire?
No.
Okay, were you looking for anybody outside?
I was looking very quickly. It all happened very quickly. I could only see the truck that was
Okay,
driving away.
okay. But when you were inside the house, did you see anybody outside?
No.
You didn't see anybody?
No.
Okay, all right. What, can you describe the damage, if any, that occurred from the fire?
So the wooden chairs that we had outside,
got burned up a little bit. The outdoor rug that we had was just melted because it was made of, I guess, polyester and plastic and things like that, so it got melted. That was about the extent of the damage.
Okay, at what point did you see the truck that you mentioned?
It was as soon as Sophia put out the fire and I looked out to the street and I saw the truck.
Okay, and can you describe that truck?
It is a dark color, I would say black. It's a pickup truck, like a late 90s. One of the smaller pickup trucks. It had a red, like flame kind of decal on it, and then also the smokestacks on the side.
Okay, have you ever seen that truck before?
I've never seen it before.
Is that, okay, have you ever seen a truck like that before with those distinctive things on it?
No.
Okay. And, when you saw the truck, what direction was the truck going? Or could you describe the direction that the truck went?
So from my porch, it was going left, which is south on turn.
Okay, and what did the truck do?
So I saw the truck kind of circle around, turn around, and then go down south. It slowed down a little, looked out at Sophia, and then drove off.
Okay, and where were you in relation to Sophia when you saw it?
We were next to each other, standing on the porch.
Okay, and when the truck came back, would you say it came back in the direction of the house?
So it was initially pointed north, turn, and then it went left, turn around, and then went down south.
Okay, so so you said that the person in the vehicle looked in your direction?
Yes.
Okay, so when that occurred, that person was driving the vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you see anybody else in the vehicle?
No, I just saw the one person.
Was it light out or dark?
It was light out. It was 4 in the afternoon.
Okay. So when you saw the person in the vehicle, could you see the driver's side, like closer to the house, or was the driver's side the opposite side?
Driver's side was closest to the house.
Okay, all right, and, do you see the person when you saw the person in the vehicle, did you recognize that person?
I did not recognize that person.
Okay, have you ever seen that person before?
Never.
Okay. Do you see the person in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
And where is that person in the courtroom here today? What are they wearing on their seat?
They are seated next to the woman in orange. They are wearing a black jacket.
Thank you. Your Honor, please, this record reflect that this was because identified the defendant, Zachary Evans.
So noted.
Thank you. All right, and if you could just describe what Mr. Evans did.
Could you clarify?
Okay, so when you saw him in the vehicle, you stated that he looked over, like in your direction and in your direction.
Yes.
Did he just look quick, look away, stare? You could just describe.
It was a very intense stare, and then drove off.
Okay. All right, thank you. And what happened after that?
After that, Sophia and I asked the neighbors what had happened, if they saw who it was, if they saw the truck. Sophia called 911.
Okay. And did the police arrive?
Yes.
And did the fire trucks arrive?
Fire trucks didn't. It was the arson unit that arrived.
Okay. And did you tell them what you observed and what happened?
Yes.
Okay. We have no further questions.
Cross-examine.
Thank you. Ms. Martinko, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so is it fair to say that prior to that day, you had never seen Mr. Evans? Is that correct?
I never met him.
Okay, and on that day, you described this vehicle as going down the street and making a U-turn and coming back towards your house, is that correct?
Yes.
And how long did you get a chance to look at this person in the truck?
2-3 seconds.
Okay. And sometimes during the course of this investigation, you made a statement to the police, is that correct?
Yes.
And did you give them a description of the person you saw in the truck?
I did not give a description of the person.
Okay.
I gave them a description of the truck.
Okay, so you never described what that person looked like to them, is that correct?
No.
Did they ever show you a photo or in-person lineup?
They never showed me a photo for lineup.
All right, so besides that day that you saw who you had described as Mr. Evans for 2 or 3 seconds, is this the only other time that you have seen that person here in court?
This is the only time.
Thank you, I have no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Just one. When you saw the fire, then you and Sophia come outside, did you see anyone else around the area outside or any trucks and any other vehicles going by?
No, it was just that one.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. You may step down. Next witness.
This time the people would call Lieutenant Kish.
Good morning, Lieutenant. Please give your name and spelling to the court reporter. Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box up there. You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name again for the record.
Lieutenant Christopher Kish.
Okay, Lieutenant Kish, I'm going to be asking you some questions today. If you don't understand or something that's going to tricky, please let me know, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I want to bring your attention back to the date of December 19th of last year, 2023. You remember that date?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your occupation?
I'm a fire investigator for the city of Detroit
Okay, and how long have you been employed in that capacity?
for almost 3 years.
Okay, and were you working on duty on the date of December 19th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your assignment or duties on the day?
To investigate fire and respond to any priority calls.
Okay, and did you investigate any fires or respond to any priority calls on that date?
Yes, I did.
Just one or more?
I believe there were more than one.
Okay. Did you respond to the location of 13550 Turner Street in the city of Detroit?
I did.
Okay. And when you arrived there, what did you notice, if anything?
Upon arrival to the scene, I met with my good partner, Detective Davis, and there were 2 occupants of the dwelling that were standing on the exterior also. They were engaged in conversation right away. When I walked up to the scene, I noticed fire effects on the front porch. That's first observation.
Okay. And did you do an investigation of that location for a possible fire?
I did.
Okay. And could you state what you did in terms of your investigation?
The investigation included witness statements, an analysis of fire effects, fire dynamics, and then a combination of that, along with canine magnetic liquid detection canine search was completed, and a culmination of all those events, I determined the fire was incendiary.
Okay. And what was it? What are some of the specific things that made you believe that it was incendiary?
What we look for anytime that there's a fire is a competent ignition source. And I ruled out that there were no electrical or mechanical sources of ignition. So then we're left with, what else is there? Generally, that's human intervention. So the combination of the witness statements, the positive alert from my ignitable liquid detection canine, and an analysis of the scene determined that there were no mechanical or electrical sources of ignition, and the combination of gasoline and the location of the fire that was determined that human intervention was used to ignite that fire.
What was it about the location of the fire?
On the front porch, we look for different scenarios or reasons a fire could have started. Is there something plugged in? Do they burn candles in the area, incense, things like that? And with it being winter, cold, it's not really it wasn't a hangout area during those months, I would say. And just the combination, like I said, of the witness statements and the scene exam led to my conclusion.
And you mentioned the canine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you describe what it was about the behavior of the canine at the scene that also added to your determination?
Yes, ma'am. After I assisted with the interviews of the witness and completed my scene exam, taking photographs, I deployed my canine partner, Echo. She's a female Belgian Malinois. She's certified by the National Association of Professional Canine Handlers once a year in the detection of ignitable liquid. Upon original deployment, as soon as I got her out of the car, you could tell she was an odor. She displayed a behavior change, nose to the ground, and a lot more animated until she can find the source of that. She immediately walked straight up to the porch. She jumped up on top of the porch without using the stairs, sat and indicated in an area where there were visible fire effects. And that is what she would do in the presence of an ignitable.
And have you seen her do that before at other scenes that were also determined to be incendiary in nature?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross-examine.
So Lieutenant, you described to us how you have eliminated, I guess, what we would call an accidental fire in terms of electrical or some kind of malfunction or something that was on the porch. You eliminated that because you didn't see anything of that nature. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you said there were some steps to the dwelling?
There were stairs to the porch.
To the porch. How many steps, if you recall?
I can't recall without looking at my pictures.
Okay. Would you say there was more than one or two
Yes,
stairs?
ma'am.
Okay. And did you find anything? You indicated that you had a smell of gasoline. Is that correct? You
Yeah.
smelled some gasoline. Did you find anything that was a container or anything like that that would indicate how gasoline got onto the porch?
I did not.
Okay. Did you find anything such as rags, anything like that, that would have created the fire? Newspaper, cloth, something that would have made a fire start?
No rags, no. There were, I did note in my report that there were two pieces of wood that were on the porch that the occupants of the dwelling stated were not there prior. Both those pieces of wood had the odor of gasoline on them, and I believe that they were introduced to the scene to either ignite or accelerate the fire.
Okay. So you described what your canine does. Does she distinguish between accidental fires and incendiary fires? Is she able to do that?
Her only job is to locate ignitable liquid.
Ignitable
My
liquid.
job is the rest of it.
Okay, thank you very much. No further questions.
Any redirect?
Nothing further.
Thank you, sir. You may sit down.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses for the people?
For the witnesses, Your Honor.
Any witnesses for the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
People?
Your Honor, this time I would move to bind over the charge of this argument.
Your Honor, I would object to the bind over for several reasons. I'll start with the fact that taking the testimony like most favorable to the prosecution, it appears that after the fire was put out by the plaintiffs, well, the plaintiff with the assistance of her housemate, they observed a truck driving down the street. There's been no testimony whatsoever to actually link my client to the fire. There's no one who observed him outside of the truck. There's nobody who observed any threats that he was gonna do anything in terms of the fire or anything like that. And it's very interesting to me that the complainant, who was in a several-year relationship with Mr. Evans, indicated she wasn't sure it was him when she first observed him. But her partner indicated she saw this person for approximately 2 seconds and then identified my client. I don't think that that is sufficient, even at a low probable cause standard, to show that my client, in fact, lighted this fire. There was testimony from the complainant that he lived not far from her location. So unless there is some evidence that exactly tied him to this fire that was allegedly incinerated, I do not think that the people met the burden at this time.
Ms. Grant.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask this court look at the totality of the circumstances here for this case. The first witness testified that she was in a relationship with the defendant for several years. The relationship ended. She hadn't had any contact with him at all until 3 weeks before the fire. She saw him at an event. She was uncomfortable. He approaches her, gets in her face. She finally is able to get away from that situation and was uncomfortable because of the way that she knows him to be. She says that later that night, I believe, she then received a text message from the defendant. He had the same phone number that she knew him to have. She had the same number that she has had for 10 years. So there was a bit of text messaging going back and forth that night. She also testified that she was a little bit uncomfortable, and because of that. 3 weeks after that happened, then we have the fire at her home. She indicates, actually both witnesses indicate that they see a fire on the porch, that they get the fire extinguisher. They extinguish the fire immediately within about 10 to 20 or 30 seconds. The entire incident is over. And what they notice right away, nobody else around, but they notice a vehicle. They both describe a very, very distinctive vehicle. And yes, the first complainant did indicate that she wasn't sure that it was the defendant at first in the vehicle, but that's because he was driving a different vehicle that she knew him to have before. But she did think that it might be him, and she did identify him in court today, as well as the other witness. Both identified the defendant as the driver of that vehicle. The first witness also indicated that she wanted to be sure, so she looked him up on social media. Sure enough, saw that vehicle on his Instagram page, knew where he lived at that point, which was not far from her home. She went by there and saw that specific vehicle in his driveway, and then alerted the officers involved in the investigation about her findings. He was the only one right around that area, and it wasn't just his car just driving by and they just happened to see him. They put out the fire, so they are in the front of the house putting out the fire. He's in the truck, he turns around, circles around, drives by and stares, like both of them say. It wasn't just a look, it was staring right at her. So it puts him there right at the scene. There was an incident that had happened previous to that. There had been other incidences that the first complainant testified to that made her afraid, and that's why she left the relationship. So, Your Honor, for a probable cause standpoint, I'm just asking that to be found.
All right. So let me take this step by step. People charge this matter arson, preparation to burn the dwelling. Did use, arrange, place, devise, or distribute an inflammable, combustible, or explosive material, liquid, substance, or device in or near a dwelling located in the city of Detroit. I don't think it's in dispute that this was an arson preparation to burn a dwelling. Only question remains is if the defendant did it, the identity of the defendant. So I heard from 3 witnesses. All 3 witnesses appear to this court to be very credible witnesses, particularly the 2 civilian witnesses, and not so much as what they said, but what they didn't say, because if they just wanted to pin this on the defendant, to make up a story on him, then they would have said, I saw him do this, that, and other. But they were very credible in what they said they saw and what they didn't see. They saw the fire, first of all, on their porch. They saw a vehicle in the vicinity of this fire making what sounds like a U-turn in the street and then come back, pull in front of their house, stare at them for a few seconds, and then drive off. The first witness, I don't even want to tear her name up, but let's say Ida Sophia, her first name, says that she saw the person. She didn't associate that person that she saw with the vehicle, but something made her believe it was the defendant because she went on Instagram looking for the defendant and what kind of car he drives. So there was something that led her to believe that it was the defendant who did this. She had just recently broken up with the defendant, that she saw him at an event where he came and he stood in front of her and stared her down and made her feel very, very uncomfortable. So this is a very circumstantial case, but because the case is circumstantial, doesn't mean that it's bad. Circumstantial evidence is just as good as direct evidence. And there have been plenty of people who have been convicted on circumstantial evidence alone. This court is satisfied for probable cause purposes that people have met their burden of probable cause as it relates to the charges contained in the complaint. The court finds those charges were committed in the city of Detroit. The court finds probable cause to believe this has been committed. Defendant will be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for proceedings. His arraignment on the information, date, and time will be June 12, 2024, at 9 o'clock. Continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Computer charger.
Good, we're all set.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, you ready on William Jr.?
Yes, I think Ms. Green is speaking to the.
You ready on Junior?
I guess so.
Calling case 2457169, Chief of the State of Michigan versus William Rayshawn Jr. Defendant is charged in count 1 domestic violence, third offense notice. Count 2 domestic violence, third offense notice. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor. Veronica Walrat, P85665, NDS on behalf of Mr. Williams Jr. Could you please state your name for the record?
William Rayshawn. Is date and time set for your examination? Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
How many witnesses?
One witness.
Okay, call your witness.
So this time I recall Ms. Bianca Harris.
Please give the young lady over there your name and spelling, please. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God. Thank you. Please have a seat in the witness box right next to me. Keep your voice up nice and loud and speak into that microphone. Be to your left once you have a seat. Maybe getting you ready.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name once again for the record.
Bianca Harris.
All right, Ms. Harris, I'm going to be asking you some questions today. If you don't understand something, or if you want me to repeat it, please let me know, all right?
Okay.
All right, thank you. I want to bring your attention back to the date of May 9th of this year, 2024. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Where were you on that date? Where's your home located?
Schaefer Highway 8207, Detroit, Michigan.
Is that at a home or
It's apartment.
Okay, and what apartment number were you in?
2.
Okay. And were you alone at your apartment that day, or were you with anyone else?
I was with my 15-year-old and my 2-year-old.
Okay. What is your 15-year-old's name?
Zariah Harris.
Okay. And you said a 2-year-old also?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, what happened at your home on that day?
Will came over to visit because I asked him to come help out because my mom had been away and I needed help with the kids.
Okay. Let me stop you right there. You said Will.
Yes, William.
William? What's William's last name?
Junior.
How do you know William Junior?
He's my kid's father.
Okay, both of your children are his father.
All 4 of my kids.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other 2 were not?
They weren't there.
Okay. All right. How long have you known Mr. Junior for?
15 years.
Okay.
Or more.
Okay. Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you just indicate where he is and what he's wearing today?
He's right there.
And what is he wearing?
A suit.
A suit? What color is it?
Black.
Okay. Thank you. Your Honor, please let this record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, William Jr.
So no.
Thank you. All right, you indicated you asked Mr. Junior to come over.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for the purpose of helping with the kids?
Yes.
Okay. Did he arrive?
Yes, he did.
What happened when he arrived?
I asked him to go get me some things from the store, for my hands, because my hands were swollen and I was trying to get ready for work, at 6 o'clock that morning. So I told him to go get like Ecmasol and like this foaming bath and like Biotin for my hands, because they were swollen and in pain. He went and got the stuff. He came back, but I guess he was upset for spending the money at the store for getting me the things. So I gave him the money back that he spent, and he still was mad and attacked me, and still was just enraged.
Okay. So he was upset about spending money.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he got upset.
Yes.
How did you know he got upset?
Because he started talking crazy to me and like basically saying he was mad about spending the money on the stuff at the store and the Lyft ride to come to my house.
Okay. So what happened after that?
He wanted his money back for going to the store for me, and he kind of wanted the money back from the Lyft ride as well.
Okay. So you gave him money back?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What happened after that?
He still was upset. Like, he just started going off on me and my daughter about things that she had done prior, because she had ran away and been trying to date and stuff. So he was getting into it with us about that.
Okay. And when you say your daughter, you're talking about
Zariah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So was Zariah around? Was she in the area when Mr. Junior was getting upset?
She was in the room at the time.
Okay.
But she heard a lot of like us tussling. She heard us tussling, like grabbing each other.
I would object to answers about what a particular person heard. I understand that the testimony and the fact that she was within hearing range, but
So when you say that you were tussling, what does that mean?
Like he was grabbing on me and choking me up, and I started grabbing him back, telling him to let me go, that it's not a fair fight because my hands were swollen and I couldn't like really fight him off or get him off of me.
Okay. So what do you mean by he was choking you up? What does that mean?
Like walking up on me, putting his hands around my neck and talking crazy to me and choking me up and like threatening me.
Okay, when he was threatening you, what was he doing to threaten you?
He was basically saying he's sick of paying child support, when I'm gonna get him off child support. He tired of me asking for money and trying to get child support. I wouldn't be asking for money if he didn't tell his job to hold the money for the child support.
Okay, so some of this argument was based on
Child support and money.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, so, when when he was choking you up, you said you were motioning with your hand, is that right?
Yeah, I was like telling him to stop, like basically, I was really letting him know that I didn't wanna fight because my hands wasn't right. I couldn't fight him off or keep him off of me, so I was just letting him know it won't be a fair fight, so don't attack me, don't fight me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you're angry, just at least calm down. And he wouldn't.
He wouldn't calm down?
No.
So what did he continue to do then?
He kept being forceful and wanna fight, so he punched me twice and he slapped me. Cause I wouldn't let him get to the room to my daughter, cause he kept wanting to get to the room to my daughter.
Okay, and do you know why he was trying to get to the room with your daughter?
Yeah, because she's being a bad teen and she's trying to date right now, but I don't think he was doing the right thing the way his approach was.
Okay. Okay, so did he get to your daughter, your daughter's room?
Yeah, but when he got to her, he pushed her and then I got in the way. He just pushed her in the shoulder. I got in the way. So I was on top of her, so he was literally just still hitting me.
Okay, and where was he hitting you?
In my face.
Okay. How many times did he hit you in your face?
So he hit me twice with the closed fist and once with the open.
Okay.
But we just kept like choking each other and pushing each other off a lot.
Okay, so he continued the choking also?
Yeah, cause we was in the room with my baby and I was on top of my 15-year-old, covering her, cause he was trying to get to her. So I was on top of her. So he's literally hitting me still, cause my body on top of hers.
Okay. So when you say choking, what was he doing? What does choking?
Choking is choking.
Okay, yeah, just because we're recording this, I just need, I need you to just explain exactly what that means to you.
Putting his hands around my neck, choking me up.
And what was he doing with his hand? Did he just lay it on or?
No, he was like putting pressure, choking.
Okay. When he put pressure around your neck with his hand, was your breathing restricted or was it?
No, my breathing wasn't restricted, but he shouldn't be doing that. I had to pay him back.
Okay, okay, very good. And how long did this all go on for?
I would say, since he had came back from the store, cause he wasn't there long. He wasn't at my house 30 minutes before the fight broke off and everything.
Okay. How did it end?
It ended with me cause he kept knocking down stuff off my table. In my house, he kept knocking down stuff, like he wanted to break something, actually. He was angry, so I was like forcing his body towards the door.
Okay.
Basically, to get him out of the house.
Okay. And did he leave the house?
Not at first.
Okay, what happened?
Not at first. He came back still like wanting to fight my daughter. Being angry and kept saying he gonna kill us.
He was, okay, Mr. Junior was saying that he was gonna kill you and your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened after that?
After that, like we was still like pushing and grabbing on each other's clothes.
Okay.
And then he said something about his shirt, cause I had his shirt on. So I took the shirt off. Cause he was mad about it, so I took it off, threw it. And after that, he ended up barging into the room again to the riot.
And what happened when he did that?
He was saying words to her like, I'm gonna fuck y'all up, I'm gonna kill y'all, like just basically saying real bad words to us. And I'm like, well, you just need to leave, like you don't have to go through this with us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pushing him out the door and I got him out the door.
Okay. So I want to back up to the first time he got to Zariah in her room. You said he pushed her on the shoulder?
Yeah.
And then you got in the way and got on top of her? Okay. Did you say Mr. Junior was still trying to get to her?
Yeah, because he was on top of the bed.
Okay.
And when I fell on her on the bed, he was hitting me.
Okay.
So my body on top of her, like kind of smothering her while he hitting me.
Okay. Was he saying anything to her at that point?
Yeah, he was like, I'm sick of y'all shit. I'm gonna fuck y'all up, I'm gonna kill y'all. He said he's gonna kill us like 6 times.
Okay. No further questions?
Questions, then?
Yes.
He smiled like that shit funny, that shit ain't funny.
Excuse me, don't forget where you are, young lady.
So
You stated that you asked him to come over and visit, correct?
Yeah.
Because you needed help with the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Was one of the things you needed help with talking to Zariah about her dating and running away?
Yes, they're trying to run away.
Okay. So generally like help, maybe not discipline, but talking to her about her.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and when he arrived, you asked him to go get some things for you from the store, right? Okay. And he did that like willingly, right? At the time, it didn't seem like he was mad about that.
Yeah, he kind of was mad about going to the store. Cause I guess he didn't really feel like it because he had just got there, but he did go.
Okay, it is kind of a long, like, ride from his place to yours, right? It's like
Yeah.
a 45-minute drive?
It is.
Okay, and you asked him to go get some, it sounds like some arthritis soothing things for your hands, right? Okay, and he did go get those, right? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said it was when he got back that you got upset, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then, you said that that was when the conflict became physical?
Yeah.
Okay, and that he was upset primarily about money?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And things, yes, and things we were saying to each other, yes.
Right, okay. So when you spoke to the police that day, you had a kind of a long conversation with the police to make sure they had all the details of what happened, right? Okay. And you told them that he came over to the apartment with the excuse of checking in on the kids, that.
Yes, because look, I asked William 2 days ago to come help me with the kids. He was giving me bad mouth, he was saying bad words. So then I told him he don't have to come anymore.
Okay.
So this day, that the commotion and the fight went on, he agreed on his own and said, I wanna come help you. I wanna be there for these kids. I have the proof, I have the text.
Okay, okay, so, thank you, that clarifies that. So, but when you talked to the police, you did tell them that he hit you on the face with a closed fist and an open fist, right? Okay. And they, were paying close attention to what it was that you said. Would you say that's fair?
That is fair, because that's what happened.
Okay, and you did not tell them that day about any choking, correct?
Yeah, I didn't mention the choking because we was both choking each other. Cause I was literally, I couldn't punch him, I couldn't close my hand and punch him, so all I could do was grab him off of me.
Okay, so you didn't mention the choking and you didn't seek any medical attention, right?
No, I didn't, because I had to go to work at 6 o'clock that morning.
Okay, and would it be fair to say that you didn't have any visible, like any cuts or scrapes, any visible injuries?
No, just like
right?
scrapes on my back.
Okay, and he did have a couple of scrapes around his neck, correct?
Not that I know of, he didn't, because I wasn't grabbing him hard. Because I was really grabbing his shirt for real.
Okay, I can see today that you don't have nails. Do you normally have nails?
No, I don't, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So when the police first came, you didn't have a shirt on, correct?
No, I didn't.
Okay, and you've alluded to that on direct exam, that you took the shirt off because you were arguing about it?
Yeah.
Do you recall stating to the police when they responded that he tugged the shirt off of you? That
No,
he
my
took it off
daughter,
of
my
you?
daughter told me that.
Okay.
Because she wasn't out there when that happened about the shirt.
Okay.
She told them that he snatched the shirt off of me, because she thought that's what happened, how he was saying about the shirt.
Okay. And do you recall telling the police that the argument occurred in the, I don't know what you would call it, the living room of the apartment?
Yeah, it was the living room.
Okay. And that while he attempted to get into the bedroom, he was not successful?
He was.
You told the police that day though that it
I never
was in
said
the
that
bedroom,
he
correct?
wasn't successful with getting in the bedroom, because he did get in the bedroom twice.
Okay.
So I never said that. Sorry.
Okay. And so You said that you were also choking him. How much force were you using?
I wasn't using that much force, man, because my hands were big like balloons. I couldn't grab and grip nothing. So that's why I said I really just had the collar of the shirt.
Okay. How long would you say that you were mutually fighting back at each other?
He was on me for a long time, so I'd say 20 minutes.
Okay, and during that time you were fighting him?
No, because I couldn't fight. But I was trying to get him off of me.
Okay. And it sounds like you would agree that he did not intentionally hit Soraya.
What do you mean intentionally?
So,
right.
The two of you were tussling.
He wanted to do more than that to me, right?
The two of you were tussling and she attempted to intervene, correct?
Not really. She didn't intervene. All she said was, "What's going on? And why are you doing this?" That's all she said to him. And he started going off at her, saying words. Not really sure what he said to her, but I remember her saying, "You haven't been a dad. You can't talk to me like that." So he wanted to fight her.
Okay. So, you were aware at the time of this argument that Mr. Junior has begun a new romantic relationship with another, correct?
Yeah, I wanted to be.
Okay, and that they have their youngest child is around the same age as your youngest child together?
No, they baby 4. My baby is 2. My baby is younger than hers.
Okay. And you're not happy about that situation, is that
I
fair?
don't really care about that situation. Not for real.
Okay. Did you bring it up at all during this argument?
Yeah, I did. And every time I bring her up, we fight. Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that up. Thank you, guys.
No further questions.
Can you redirect?
Nothing for you.
You may step down.
Thank you, sir.
Any other witnesses for the people?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
Any witnesses for the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
People?
Your Honor, this time I move to bind over of charge and reserve argument.
Your Honor, defense would object to bind over on the count 2 of domestic violence against Soraya Harris. First of all, she did not appear to testify, so we have. Oh, thank you. Apologies, I'm watching a number. Defense would object to bind over, particularly on count 2, the domestic violence charge against Soraya Harris. She was not present today to testify. We have no account from her as to what she experienced. The testimony from Bianca Harris.
You do recognize, however, that she doesn't need to be if there's another.
I understand, but I do believe that it's that it should be a consideration of the court if someone is narrating what another person experienced when they were themselves in the heat of a moment with someone else. That testimony is significantly less reliable than if Soraya had appeared herself and indicated that she had been struck. So I'd like the court to take that into consideration. I would object to bind over on that count because we have not heard her testimony, and there's, to me, is unclear when an assault against Soraya occurred in this narrative. And as to count 1, I would object without argument. Thank you.
Your Honor, I would indicate to the court that the complainant that did testify indicated that the defendant, Mr. Junior, was upset and was coming after the daughter, Soraya. And the complainant was trying to keep him away. He finally did get to her and he pushed her on her shoulder, and then the complainant tried to get in between them. They both fell on the bed, meaning Soraya and this complainant, and the defendant is still trying to get at Soraya. In addition, threatening to kill them both. So Your Honor, that satisfies the domestic violence did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Soraya Harris. I'm asking for my vote.
I have to agree with people in that I don't necessarily need to hear from Soraya if I have another witness who's able to testify as to the offense. in the manner in which Ms. Harris did, Bianca Harris did. She indicated that the defendant did assault both her as well as Ryan Harris. Court is satisfied that people met the burden of probable cause as it relates to all the charges contained in the complaint. The court finds those charges were committed in the city of Detroit, and the court finds probable cause to believe this defendant committed. Defendant will be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for further proceedings. His arraignment on the information date and time will be June 12, 2024 at 9 o'clock a.m. Time will be
Apologies if I missed it. When is the arraignment on?
June 12th.
Thank you.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Your Honor, if I can just address that for 1 moment.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have some information that, while defendant was incarcerated, for this, that he was contacting the complainant by phone. But he's out now, and, I have information, that the the defendant's mother has been contacting the complainant, the defendant's mother.
Your Honor, that information is new to the defense. I don't have any indication of jail calls made. And they do share 4 children, and so without some substantiation that it was direct contact to her, it would be quite normal for a person's mother to take over child custody sharing or communication that has to be done about the children for the duration of a case. I can certainly admonish my client and his family not to contact.
Is mom here?
I'm sorry.
He said his mom is in Georgia.
His mom is in Georgia. She's not local. He's denying having made these contacts. We have no proof that those calls were actually made. I would ask that bond remain the same. And if the court would like to re-emphasize what a no contact order means.
Sir, do you want to go to jail? You understand court's orders that you have no contact? Yes. I understand no contact. Oh. So I don't know if you knew that while you were in jail.
No, I did not. Nobody's in contact.
Because you know, if you contact, you seen her up there, she's kind of volatile. You contact her, she's gonna tell. And then you're putting your freedom in jeopardy. You understand that, right?
Lie. No, I don't want this to go any farther.
Yeah, did you hear my question?
Yes, sir.
So you understand if you have contact, you're in violation of this court's order and you go. You
Yes,
understand
sir.
that?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want?
No, sir.
We can cut to the chase if that's what you want to do.
Sir.
No contact means no contact at all, by way of you or third party. Your mom is contacting her. Your mom's not contacting her about child custody issues if she's in Georgia. Why would mom be contacting? Mom should not have any contact with her either. Understood? Yes, sir. Tell mom that she's putting you in jeopardy trying to get in contact. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Deshaun Lee Palazzolo. Calling case 2457263 before the state of Michigan versus Deshaun Lee Palazzolo. Defendant is charged in count 1 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2 felony firearm, count 3 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 4 felony firearm, count 5 assault and resisting obstructing police officer, count 6 domestic violence.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Judge, Junior Staff, Cody Bradford, Neighborhood Defender Service, P 85944. Here on behalf of Mr. Palazzolo, who is present from the Wayne County Jail. Can you state your name, sir?
Deshaun Lee Palazzolo. Designated time set, preliminary examination, are you ready to proceed? Oh, we're just practicing.
Oh, we have to do it again. The reporter's not here. So just have a seat so she can start.
Calling case 2457263, people of the state of Michigan versus Deshaun Lee Palazzolo. Defendant is charged in count 1 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 2 felony firearm, count 3 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 4 felony firearm, count 5 assaulting, resisting, obstructing police officer, count 6 domestic violence. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drink for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning again, Judge, Junior Staff, Cody Bradford, Neighborhood Defender Service, P 85944. Here on behalf of Mr. Palazzolo, who's present from the Wayne County Jail. Mr. Palazzolo, can you state your name, please?
There's date, time, set for preliminary examination. I repeat, ready to proceed.
Yes, Judge.
How many witnesses?
One witness.
Are you?
At this time, the people will call Aaliyah Muhammad.
What you doing here, Mr. Hicks?
I don't know if I can say.
Are you having 11 o'clock?
Yeah, Mr. Simpson.
Okay. Oh, that's the one we put up. Right. Did you sure you come back?
I did, Judge.
And?
I got the result I wanted.
Okay. Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell her your name and spell it for her, please. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please have a seat in the witness box next to me. Place a nice announcement to that microphone to your left. Speak into the microphone so we can hear you.
Hello? Okay. Can I proceed, Judge?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Please state your name once more for the record. Aaliyah Muhammad. Ms. Muhammad, I'm going to be asking you some questions. If you don't understand something or if you want me to repeat it, please let me know, all right? All right, thank you. Ms. Muhammad, I want to bring your attention back to the date of May 15th of this year, 2004. Do you remember that date? Yeah. Where were you on that date? At Deshaun's house. Okay, you said you were at Deshaun's house on Bringard, is that right? Yes. Do you know the exact address? 15409 Bringard. Is that in the city of Detroit, the town of Wayne? Yes. All right. And you said that it was Deshaun's house? Yes. What is Deshaun's last name? Palazzolo. How do you know Deshaun Palazzolo? So we have a child together. Okay, how old is that child? 2 weeks. 2 weeks old? Okay, and do you see Deshaun Palazzolo in the courtroom here today? Yes. Could you indicate where he is in the courtroom and what he's wearing? Green. Green, okay, and where is he? Okay, Your Honor, please, at this record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, Deshaun Palazzolo.
So moved.
Thank you. All right, you were at Mr. Palazzolo's house on that day, is that correct? Yeah. Was anyone else there with you? His family was there. Okay, and what members of his family were there? Younger brother, his older sister. Okay, and was your child there as well? Yeah. Okay, so what happened on that day between yourself and Mr. Palazzolo? I tried to hold my baby. Okay, you said you tried to hold your baby? And why were you trying to hold the baby at that time? Because I was getting ready to leave. Okay, how long have you been at the house for? Not long, probably like 30, 45 minutes. Okay. So you came from a doctor's appointment to the house, is that right? Okay. And yeah. Okay, and why were you trying to leave at that particular moment? Because he told me to leave. He told you to leave, so you wanted to leave? Okay, and, you just have to say yes, okay. All right, so, what happened when you tried to leave?
He told me that I wasn't leaving without my baby. He told me that I could leave, but my baby wasn't leaving.
Okay.
And I asked him, can I hold the baby before I leave?
Okay, how old was the baby on this day? 15?
5 days.
Okay, was that the plan for you to leave the baby there?
No, not originally, but
what?
After he started getting aggressive and stuff, I just decided I should leave and the baby could stay with him.
Okay, okay, so you wanted to say goodbye to your baby?
Not
Is that what you
goodbye,
said?
just see you later.
Okay, to the baby?
Yeah, I just wanted to hold him before I left.
Okay, so what happened? Were you able to do that?
No.
Why not?
Because he got aggressive. When I tried to grab the baby, he had the baby in one hand and was trying to push me away. So the baby was just unsupported in one hand. He was trying to get me off of him with the other hand.
Okay, and when you say he was being aggressive, what specifically do you mean?
Like talking aggressively, pushing me off of him, pushing me away from the baby.
Okay, and what were you trying to do?
Get my baby.
And why were you trying to get your baby at that point?
So I can hold my baby.
Okay, you just wanted to hold the baby before you left, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, so what happens next?
He grabbed a gun.
When he grabbed a gun, were you still in the same room?
Yes.
Was he still holding the baby?
Yes.
How was he holding the baby?
Just in one hand.
Okay, just holding the baby with one hand, okay, and where did he get the gun from?
I'm not even sure. I just remember him taking it, maybe off the floor, under the bed.
Okay, can you describe the gun?
The black.
Okay, have you ever seen him with that gun before?
Yeah.
Okay, so when he, what was his demeanor like when he grabbed the gun?
He was just telling me to get away from him and hit me with it.
He said he'll hit you with it? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens next?
I followed him to the door, the entrance of the door, and he pushed the engine of the gun towards my forehead. He ran downstairs and I ran outside and called the police.
Okay, so did he actually touch the gun to your forehead?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you feel when he did that?
I was just scared. I just ran outside.
Okay. And was he still holding the baby at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened with the baby?
I'm not sure. I ran outside.
Okay.
After he ran downstairs with the baby and the baby in one hand, then the other hand, I ran downstairs, ran outside and part of the police.
Okay. Did he say or do anything else that day?
Yeah. When we were outside, while I was outside with the police, she was texting me, laughing, emojis.
I have no further questions.
Process in.
Good morning, Mr. Mohammed. I'm Mr. Palazzola's, excuse me. I'm Mr. Palazzola's attorney. If I say anything that's confusing and you need to rephrase it, will you let me know? Okay. Okay. If you don't ask me to rephrase and answer the question, fair to say that you understood my question. Okay. What type of gun did you tell the police it was?
Handgun.
And you had stated, Mr. Palazzola, did he hit you with the gun or did he just press
He
it?
didn't hit me like pistol with me with the gun. He did push me.
Okay. Did it leave any type of mark or anything?
No.
One moment, Judge. And then, did you state that he told you that he, being Mr. Palazola, did he tell you that you needed to leave or that you could leave?
He told me to get out.
Okay. Do you know why? Were y'all arguing?
Not that day. We were the night before, the day before.
Thank you, Mr. Mott. Another further question.
Can you read that?
Nothing further.
How old are you now?
20.
20? So I don't have any other questions for you, but I do want to offer you a little bit of advice. The court is a place of business, which is what we wear business attire. What you have on today is not necessarily business attire that you do. Thank you. You may start. Any other witnesses?
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Any witnesses?
No, Judge.
Your Honor, I move to bind it over on counts 1 and 2 only and reserve argument.
Judge, as to counts 1 and 2, I think it's a question for the trier of fact, so I have no argument against the bind over statement.
Court is satisfied people met the burden of probable cause as it relates to counts 1, assault with a dangerous weapon as it relates to William Muhammad, and count 2, the felony firearm. Court will dismiss count 3, 4, 5, and count 6 goes over. The court finding those charges were committed in the city of Detroit. The bond is been over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court, criminal division 36. It's arraignment on the information date time will be June 5th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Any dismissals as to counts 3, 4, and 5.
So sorry, did you say that was June 5th?
Yes.
So that you want to? Ms. Strange.
Simpson is away.
Okay. Israel Simpson? Yes. Yes, sir. Come on, Mr. Hicks. Calling case 2456887, people of the state of Michigan versus Israel Javon Simpson. Defendant is charged in count 1 failure to stop at the scene of accident resulting in serious impairment or death. Count 2 operating license suspended, revoked, denied, allowing suspended person to operate effectively. Defendant has an habitual offender second.
Good morning, may it please this honorable court, APA Jonathan Hitz, appearing on behalf of the people, P85 counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Name is Kessler with NDS, appearing on behalf of Mr. Israel Simpson, P number 80549.
There's date, time, set for preliminary examination.
Judge, I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Simpson. I did explain his rights to this hearing. He understands, my understanding is that Mr. Simpson wishes to waive their examination.
Please raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination by waiving the same. That means you won't have one. You'll be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court as you stand charged with complaint. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand the nature and the purpose of the preliminary examination?
Yes, I did.
You understand if you were to have one, the prosecution would have to establish a primary charge committed to the city treasurer as part of the public community committee.
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right? Is anyone forcing you to waive your right?
No.
Is anyone promising you?
No.
Are you waiving your right freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Any objection from the people?
No, Judge.
Court finds the defendant's waiver is made knowingly and voluntarily, freely, therefore binding to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for further proceedings. This arraignment on the information date, time will be June 12, 2024 at 9:05 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
Judge, I need to sign the waiver.
Oh, okay. That is the migraine. I can't see it. She has it back.
No.
No, that's our. Oh, okay. Where's Mr. Migraine?
I think she just said that, Judge.
Mr. Harris.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm surprised to see you on Zoom.
I understand that, Your Honor. I'm trying to make a little bit of efficiency. I think that we may have a dismissal on my exam.
Where's your client?
Oh, he's out in the hallway, Judge.
Okay, let's have him step in. What? Calling case 2457261, people of the state of Michigan versus Delquan Watson. Defendant charged in count 1, home invasion, first degree. Count 2, felony firearm. Count 3, unlawful driving away motor vehicle. Count 4, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 5, felony firearm. Count 6, domestic violence.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drink for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wyatt Harris, P54891, on behalf of Delquan Watson. Mr. Watson appears in court in person. I appear via Zoom with the court's permission.
Tell me your name, sir.
Delquan Watson.
Today's the date and time set for preliminary examination. Are you ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I'm not able to proceed at this time. Complaining witness is not present. I cannot proceed without their testimony today.
I can't hear you, I can't hear you anymore, Mr. Harris.
Okay, can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would ask this court to this.
The court will dismiss this matter without prejudice.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, I'd ask that my client has a tether on. I'd ask the court to issue an order to have the tether removed.
The dismissal order should do that in and of itself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, have a good day.
You too, sir.
Ronald Frank Christian. Calling case 2455658, people of the state of Michigan versus Ronald Frank Christian Jr. Finished charged in count 1, unlawful driving away motor vehicle. Count 2, weapons, firearms, possession by felon. Count 3, felony firearm. Count 4, assault with a dangerous weapon. Count 5, felony firearm. Count 6, domestic violence, third offense notice. And it has a habitual offender, second offense notice. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drake for the people, P number 60249.
And good morning, Neighborhood Defender Service by Kate DeMont Brady, P 83667, on behalf of Mr. Ronald Christian, who joins us here in the courtroom. Mr. Christian, please state your name.
Ronald Frank Christian. Today's the day and time set for preliminary examination. Are the people ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge.
How many witnesses?
Just one.
Okay, call your witnesses.
At this time, the people would call Ms. Jasmine Newman.
May I come around for close?
So, you have something you want to show me, Miss?
No, Your Honor, I was trying to plug my laptop in.
Oh,
There are no outlets.
All right. Please give your name and spelling to the young lady there. Raise your right hand. This way. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Please have a seat. The witness box next to me. I need you to lose the gum, okay? Maybe again when you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning. Please state your name once again for the record.
Jasmine.
Ms. Newman, I'm going to be asking you some questions today. If you don't understand something or if you want me to repeat it, please let me know, all right? All right, thank you. I want to bring your attention back to the date of November 5th of last year, 2023. Do you remember that date?
Yes.
Okay, and where were you on that date?
From the scene.
All right, and what location was that?
East side of the street.
Okay, and was that like a house, a business, or just a street?
I was on a street outside the house.
Okay, and why did you go to that location?
So the drop around the bucket.
Okay, and how did you get to that location? Okay, and
Speak into that microphone, please.
And whose vehicle did you drive? Okay, and what kind of vehicle is that? What year is it? 1998 or 99?
98.
Or 98, Mercury Grand Marquis?
99.
Okay. Okay, and is that your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you went to that location. Was that in City of Detroit, Department of Lane? Yes, the vehicle is registered in my mom's name.
Okay.
Okay.
And, did this happen in the city of Detroit, the county of Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, so you said you went there to give Ronald some things, is that right?
Yes.
And why were you doing that?
Because our relationship was over with.
Okay, and what things were you wanting to give him?
Some of his personal items.
Okay, had you made an arrangement with him to meet him to give you these things?
Yes.
When did that occur?
When he called.
And was it that day or a different
Same day.
Okay, all right, so you arrived at this location, was it just on the street?
Yes.
Okay, and was it in front of a house or somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened when you arrived?
He asked to get in my car and talk to me. He was standing outside of the car first speaking with someone else. Then he got in my car to talk to me. He proceeded to go through my things that were in my car after I told him to get out. Then he hit me.
Okay, let me stop you right there. So when you arrived at the location, was Ronald outside or did he come out of a building or house?
He got out of a car.
Oh, okay, so he was in a different car.
Mhm.
Okay, what's Ronald's last name?
Christian.
Okay, and you said you had been in a dating relationship?
Yes.
Okay, do you see Mr. Ronald Christian in the courtroom here today?
Yes.
For identification purposes for the court, could you indicate where he is in the courtroom and when he's married?
He's sitting there in green.
All right. Thank you. Your Honor, please let this record reflect that this witness has identified the defendant, Ronald Christian.
So noted.
Thank you. All right. So the things that you had of Mr. Christian's, were they still in the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. You hadn't gotten them out yet?
He got in to get them out.
Okay, he got in your vehicle to get the things out. And you said he started looking through your
He
things?
asked me, could we talk? And then he started going through my things in my car.
Okay. And what did you say when he asked if he could do that?
I told him to get out. I told him to leave. I told him I had to go.
Okay. And what happened next?
And then he got physical.
And how did he get physical?
He hit me.
Okay, where did he hit you?
In my head.
Okay, what did he hit you with?
A gun.
Okay, and what kind of gun was this, or what did it
I
look
don't know.
like?
It was black.
A black gun?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You just have to say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever seen him with this gun before?
No.
Okay. Did you see where was he holding the gun when he got in the vehicle?
I didn't pay that much attention. I don't know where he put it from.
Okay.
It wasn't directly in his hand, so no.
Okay. So he hit you in the head with the gun?
Yes.
Okay. Did he say anything?
Yes, for beaches. He said, I want to go get away this time. He continued to hit.
What did that mean to you?
He was gonna kill me.
Okay. All right. And after he hit you with the gun and said that, what happened next?
I tried to get out of the car. He grabbed me. He took my keys. He was holding me in the car. I kept on trying to open the door. So then I finally got out. He bit me first.
Where did he bite you?
On my wrist.
Okay. And did he make any marks or draw blood from that?
Yes.
Yes?
Hmm?
Okay. And also when he hit you in the head with the gun, were you injured as a result of that?
Yes.
And what was your injury?
I had head injuries, face fractures in the hospital.
Okay. So you're trying to get out of the car, he bites you on your wrist, is it your left wrist or your right wrist?
My right wrist.
Okay, bites you on the right wrist, and you finally are able to get out of the car?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened next?
And then I ran to someone's porch and knocked on the door for help, and he chases me.
Okay, and why did you run to someone's porch?
Because I needed help.
Okay, and you said he chased you?
Of course.
Okay, and did you receive any help from that house?
No.
Or, okay, what happened after that?
He approached the porch and hit me again.
Where did he hit you?
In my head.
Where did he hit you with?
It's this.
Okay, how many times did he hit you?
Maybe 3.
Okay, so you're both on the porch, he's hitting you, what happens after that?
I fall.
You fall on the porch then? Okay, what happens after that?
Okay, you fall, and you fall on the porch, is that right? Yeah. Just be sure to say yes or no. Yeah. Okay, what happens after that?
I grabbed something, that was on the porch, it was like fall time, but it had like some Halloween decorations. And I tried to put it in between us and he breaks it.
Okay, so he breaks it by doing what?
He snatched it from me and broke it.
Okay. Okay, what happens after that?
He leaves the porch and then he was started to turn around, but then he leaves and I was yelling for help. So he goes to my car and, it sounded like he shot through the back window. He breaks the back window and he gets in the car and he pulls.
Okay. So was the key still in the vehicle?
He had taken the keys
Okay, when did he take the keys?
when I was trying to get out.
Okay. All right, did you, but he was in a vehicle when he arrived, is that correct?
Yeah, he wasn't driving.
Okay, so did you see someone else there?
That he was in the vehicle with, yeah, they had pulled off.
Okay, so the vehicle that he was in wasn't there anymore, no? All right, so he leaves, is your vehicle, correct? Okay, did you give him permission to?
Yes, yes.
Did you in any way give him permission to take that vehicle that you were in?
No.
Okay. What happens next?
I knocked on a few more doors until someone called the police.
Okay, and did the police arrive?
Yes.
What happened when the police arrived?
They asked me what happened, they called me an ambulance, and then I go to the hospital.
Okay, and what happens to you at the hospital?
They take some pictures and, assess me, basically.
Did you receive any specific treatment to areas of your body?
Yes, I had to have, some, MRIs and some, tetanus shot, some test ran, so they had admitted me.
Okay. Did you have to have any stitches, staples,
No.
anything like that?
No.
Could you see the injuries on your own body?
Yes,
And where were they?
my face, my arms,
And what did you see of your face and arms?
I couldn't open my eyes, I had knots in my head
Why couldn't you open your eyes?
from being hit.
Okay. So you mean your eyes were swollen? because of
Yeah.
that? Okay. You indicated that you were hit one time with a gun.
Yeah.
That was on your head?
Yes,
And what was there an injury because of that?
yes,
What was that?
I had a big knot.
How long did that last for?
A week, maybe.
Okay. So injury to your head and injuries to your face and to your arms?
Yes,
Okay, and what were the injuries to your arms?
I had bite marks.
Okay, more than one?
Yes.
Okay, and you said one was on your wrist? Do you have any marks on your wrist right now? On that?
It's just, basically a dark mark. I have one here too as well.
Another bite mark?
Yes,
Okay, can you see that bite mark?
yes, it is visible.
Can you show us, or is it not possible?
No, it's not possible.
All right. Okay, one moment. Okay, I have no further questions.
Cross-examine.
One moment, Your Honor. Morning, Ms. Newman.
Good morning.
I'm gonna ask you some questions. If you don't understand the question, just let me know and I'll rephrase. Is that fair?
Yes.
So you and Ronald dated for about 6 months, is that right?
Yes.
And you broke up right in November of 2023?
October.
October? Do you remember when in October?
October 30th.
October 30th. And who ended the relationship?
I did.
And how did you end the relationship?
I told him to leave me alone, not to come back to my house.
And fair to say, you know that Mr. Christian's married, right?
Yes,
And that he was getting back together with his wife.
I'm not sure.
How did his relationship with his wife make you feel?
I didn't hear.
So on November 5th, you drive over to Rossini and you said Hayes,
Yeah,
and you said that Mr. Christian was in a car, someone else's car.
yes.
Do you know whose car he was in?
I don't know who it was registered to. I know who he was with.
That's what I'm asking you. Who was he with?
A mutual friend.
Who is that friend?
His name is AR.
Is that his legal name?
That's what I know.
You don't know anything other than AR?
No.
How do you know AR?
We're friends.
Okay, how long have you known AR?
A few years.
And AR was the only other person in the car with Mr. Christian when you arrived?
Yes,
And what seat was AR in the car Mr. Christian was in?
he was the driver.
And had you seen the car that AR was driving before?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of car it was?
It's a Jeep, some sort of Jeep.
And why did you pick that Rossini and Hayes location to meet?
He asked me to bring his things there.
Mr. Christian?
It's close to my house.
And that morning you had cooked Mr. Christian breakfast, correct?
No, I didn't cook breakfast for him.
Did you bring food over to him that morning?
Yes,
And you said that he got in the car, correct?
yes,
And then you testified that he took your keys from you.
yes,
I believe you said that twice in direct, correct?
yes.
So when did he take your keys from you?
Well, when I tried to start in my car and leave, he grabbed my keys.
And you wrote a statement in this case, correct?
Yes.
You went to the police station, to a precinct?
No, I went to the hospital after the police came to me.
Understood. So on November 9th, you wrote a statement?
Around that time.
And you would agree in that statement, you wrote that the keys were stuck in the ignition of the car, correct?
I don't remember.
Would viewing your statement refresh your recollection?
Sure, read it.
And approach?
Mhm.
I'm asking the judge.
Yes.
Your Honor, thank you. I'm handing you a copy of your statement. If you just look at the bottom and read it, and then you can look up when you're done.
No.
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. You can just read it quietly to yourself and then look up when your memory is fresh. So you agree in your statement, you wrote that the keys were stuck in the ignition of the car.
Yes,
Right. And you wrote this statement on the 9th, only a few days after this had happened, right?
yes,
So it's incorrect that he took your keys from you, correct?
no, he did take my keys.
So you both wrote in your statement, he did take them, they're stuck in the ignition, and
They
he
were
just,
stuck in the ignition when I tried to leave. When I tried to leave, when I tried to pull off, they were stuck. He took my key.
and you would agree that you never
Once I got out of my car, he took my key.
right, but you would agree that you didn't write that in your statement,
Yes, I do agree.
and you would agree that you can tell that to the police that, right?
Mine just got beat up and hit in the head, so.
That's not my question. My question is, did you
No,
tell them that?
I didn't.
Okay, thank you. You also wrote in your statement that you don't, sorry, this gun, right, you said on direct that you've never seen this gun before, correct?
Yes,
And that in your written statement on November 9th, you said that you don't know him to ever have guns, correct?
I hadn't seen him with the gun before, no.
And then on direct, you said that you didn't know where he got the gun from, right?
No,
So you're telling us that Mr. Christian got into, it was at the passenger seat of your car,
yes,
and you're sitting in the driver's seat,
yes,
and then a gun just appears.
yes.
So,
Yeah, I'm dark pants. It's easy to pull it up anywhere.
but you have no, you cannot tell us where that gun came from.
No,
And you said he was going through your things in your car. What do you mean by that?
He's went through my console.
Okay, so he opened up your console?
Yes.
Did he take stuff out of your console?
Yes.
What things did he take out of your console?
My phone, a toothbrush,
And where was his stuff in the car?
in a bag sitting behind him.
So in the back passenger seat?
Yes.
And what stuff had you brought him?
His clothes, and a plate of food.
And it was just one bag?
Say yes.
Yes,
Was it like a shopping bag or like a garbage bag?
it was a book bag.
A book bag full of those?
Yes.
And you said that you had face fractures?
Yes.
Do you know what bones were fractured?
Around my nose and eye sockets.
And on that day of November 5th, had you been drinking that day at all?
No.
Were you on any drugs at that point?
No.
Prescription drugs?
No. Not until I went to the hospital.
During your dating relationship with Mr. Christian, you would agree that he drove your Grand Marquis, correct?
Yes.
And that he drove it regularly?
Yes.
If I just have one moment, Your Honor. Ms. Newman, you were admitted to the hospital because you have sickle cell, correct? No, you don't, or no, that's not why you were admitted?
No, that's not why I'm doing it.
Was that something you were treated for though while you were at the hospital?
I was treated for anemia. Anemia.
Okay, understood. Nothing else from defense?
Can you redirect?
You had fractures on your face? Okay, so, you have to just say.
Yes.
Alright. Were you treated in any way for those fractures? Well, just some pain meds for the swelling and then to see the facial doctor, to follow up. Okay, and so did you see another doctor and follow up? Yes, I'm still seeing doctors. Okay, and are you still being treated? No. No, okay. Did you have to have surgery or stitches, anything? No surgery. All right, thank you.
What caused the fractures to your face?
From him
Hitting you with what?
his fist and a gun
He hit you with the gun in the face?
in my head.
In your head? Say yes?
Yes.
All right, but you say you had fractures to your face. So I'm
Yes.
speaking specifically to your face. Were you hit with the gun in your face?
My head is square in my face, it was here, but he punched me in my face as well.
Okay, where was the fracture?
My nose.
Do you have any lasting effects from the injuries that you sustained on that day?
No,
No
my
scarring
fractures
or
are still
anything?
healing, no.
Say the fractures are still healing?
Yeah.
How long were you in this relationship with your friend?
About 6 months.
6 months. How long were you in the hospital?
3 hours.
I'm just curious. What made, you broke off the relationship, right?
Yes.
You were bringing him his stuff?
Yes.
Why'd you bring him breakfast?
Would be a nice,
Just sweet like that?
yes.
You say the defendant drove off in your car?
Yes.
Did you ever get your car back?
Yes.
When did you get it back?
2 days later, we found it on 7 Mile.
You found it on 7 Mile? How did you find it on 7 Mile?
Someone had called me and said they seen it.
and you had another set of keys to the car?
No, the police had it towed, and then I talked to him, and he said he put the key in the car.
Talk to the defendant?
Yes,
When did you talk to the defendant?
afterwards,
When afterwards?
after I had it on my car,
You called him?
he called me all the time.
He called you after the incident?
Yes,
Did he say anything about the incident?
no. If I'm saying all I did was smack the shit out of you, that's it.
You asked him about the keys?
Yeah.
He told you the keys were in the car?
Yes.
Did you find the keys in the car?
Yes.
Where were they?
In the glove compartment,
It was on 7 Mile, where?
7 Mile in Hoover, right across the street from the gas station.
How many days later?
3, 4 days later.
Any questions based on my question?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Any other witnesses for the people?
No, there was the
Any witnesses for the defendant? Any other witnesses for the defendant?
No, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
People?
Sure, I would move to bind over as charged except for counts 2 and 3.
Your Honor, I would object to the bind over of that argument.
Court after hearing the testimony from Ms. Mooney is satisfied that people have met their burden of probable cause as it relates to counts 1, 4, 5, and 6. The court finding those charges recommended in the city of Detroit, the court finding probable cause to believe this defendant's guilty will bind the defendant over to Wayne County Circuit Court criminal division for proceedings. His arraignment on the information, date and time, June 5th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Counts 2 and 3 will be dismissed from this petition. Follow me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I need dismissals of the counts 2 and 3, Mr. Moncrief.
That's right.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? Just so nice.
Oh, my.
I'm still crawling up.
That's Antoine Dent.
Yeah, that's gonna be a dismissal.
Who is his attorney?
Humphreys, he's on the phone now.
Why is he on the phone?
It's gonna be a dismissal.
I have Mr. Humphreys on the phone. He's in the airport, so I'm just trying to find out.
Mr. Blunt is gonna stand in on the dismissal. This is okay with the judge?
We could have just a few minutes, because she said she was coming. Okay. We'll see.
Okay, I have that open now. Okay. On this way. It's not here for.
Well, I was gonna say, we can. Go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Start. Okay. Start. Okay, he's on Zoom.
What's the status? Willis is not shown? She's gonna be late. Ms. Drain,
Yes,
are we
Judge.
expecting the witness or no?
No, Judge.
Okay. Calling case 2457195, for the state of Michigan versus Antoine Dent. Defendant is charged in count 1 assault with intent to murder, count 2 assault with a dangerous weapon, count 3 felony firearm, count 4 domestic violence, count 5 domestic violence, third offense notice. Appearances for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Shelley Drain for the people, P number 60249.
Good morning, Your Honor. James Humphreys, P38930, on behalf of the defendant in this matter.
Sir, tell me your name.
Antoine Curtis Dent.
Today's the date and time set for preliminary examination. Are you ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I am not able to proceed at this time. The complaining witness is not present, and I cannot proceed without her testimony today.
On behalf of the defendant, Your Honor, that's the court to dismiss the information in this matter without prejudice.
Court will dismiss the complaint and warrant. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All righty, bye.
So that concludes the docket for today. Folks, hope to see you tomorrow, same backstation, same bat time. Have a good day.